Chapter 10. Danish Culture.
The playwright Ludvig Holberg lived in the 18th century and wrote a number of plays with a humoristic yet critical view of the upper classes' snobbery and hypocrisy. Here at the Royal Danish Theatre in Copenhagen and on many of the other theatrical stages in the country, Holberg's plays are enacted every single season. Hans Christian Andersen, a man known by almost everyone around the world for his numerous fairy tales, liked Holberg's comedies. This little house in Odense is where Hans Christian Andersen was born. Among other things, Hans Christian Andersen wrote the tale about the ugly duckling, which is about the possibility of growing into a big, beautiful swan, even though you were born a small and ugly grey duckling. This was also the story of Hans Christian Andersen's own life. Hans Christian Andersen is buried here at Assistens Cemetery. A visit to this cemetery is like taking a journey through Denmark's art and cultural history. The philosopher Søren Kierkegaard also lies buried here. Søren Kierkegaard spent his entire life discovering the meaning of life and what it means to be human. The painter Christopher Wilhelm Eckersberg and his contemporary Christian Købke painted works of art during the period that is known in Denmark as the Golden Age. In this period, Danish art flourished.
In the last half of the 19th century, Wilhelm Hammershøi painted stylized pictures full of shadows, Nordic lighting and melancholy. Wilhelm Hammershøi's pictures are on display at various museums around the country. For instance, Statens Museum for Kunst, the Danish National Gallery, also has collections of Danish and international classical and modern paintings. The Aarhus Art Museum, the Aachen Museum of Modern Art and the Louisiana Museum of Modern Art, both of which are located outside of Copenhagen, have changing art exhibitions from around the world. The majority of large provincial towns have various kinds of museums. There are also a number of concert halls and cultural centers used for everything from stand-up comedy shows, local and popular reviews, to rock and classical concerts, and much, much more.
This small part of the cemetery is called the Jazz Corner. Here, a number of well-known American and Danish jazz musicians are buried. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, Copenhagen was home to a number of renowned musicians in the world of jazz.
In several places throughout the country, large music festivals are held with tens of thousands of spectators who camp out at the festival site. Also, smaller music festivals and theatrical events are held. These are events for all ages and in all genres.
Now let's hear about the priest and the poet named Grundtvig. He lived and worked in the 19th century, but his ideas have made their mark on society right up to today. This applies in particular to his ideas about every person's right to education, the so-called general education. This general education is also part of the origin of public libraries, where you can borrow books, music and films for free, or hear lectures with known and unknown speakers. Grundtvig's ideas also thrive in municipal schools and in large parts of the national church.
The numerous folk schools in Denmark are built on Grundtvig's ideas as well. There are schools where people of all ages can meet for short or long courses and receive tuition in various subjects such as literature, politics, philosophy, sports and art. Normally, the participants stay at the schools during their courses.
Art and culture means having experiences and being together with other people. A good place to begin is at the local public library. Here you'll find newspapers and the internet, where you can find out about all the different kinds of cultural activities available.
All those years ago, in Senegal, I learned that culture is the foundation of humanity, and every society in the world has a culture. It is their identity. So if I'm to manage well here, then it's important that I become part of and am open to the new culture.
I believe that if you don't know the culture and the mentality, then you become isolated, because then it's difficult to get together with others and to understand why people do what they do. If I don't understand what's happening, then I might criticize it instead.